Bore, Malon Bula, bonsoir à tous. My name is Tui Ledua. I got to work with this team. I had the great privilege of helping out with a little bit of art direction. Um, I've worked with many before on animations. We've worked in different mediums, 3D and 2D. It's always bright, cheerful, and often funny. But this one was going to be different. This was a story that Melanie wanted to tell. Um, so we looked at we looked at many different types of animation styles, and we worked through and we got to one where it was a bit more organic and earthy, like darker tones, but it was also something that would look at home on a canvas or on some tapa or a masi design. And it was also very different from what was out there. So we wanted something that stood out, so that if you saw a clip or still, you'd know straight away, oh, that's from the Soli Bula animation. But yeah, that's how we came up with this design. But it was also designed to be painted very freely because time wasn't on our side. We had a lot of challenges along the way. We also not just with the design process because things were known. Well, historically, we had historical recordings of how things were up to a certain point, and then after that point, it was all up to the storyteller. So we had to come up with it was a what if situation. So we had to come up with, okay, what's the best way of designing this? It was the naval officer, but it was also with the mete. When we were designing the mete, we had this, tunic, and when I designed a lot of these things, and it based on, talatalas, and also like, break off cults, because that was the design I was going for, something different. But then with Mr. Andrea's knowledge, we realized no.
Uh, Topless was the way to go, to be topless. Huh? When the first Christian missionaries arrived in 1835, William Cross and David Cargill, they introduced the attire of the Talatalas today, because the Christianity version brought by them was modeled against the sense of dress during the Victorian era.
The whole really cover up kind of thing.
Yes, that was the conservative dress. They came from that period of Queen Victoria. So the Victorian mode of conservative dress in the men and the women was what they pushed, which is why even today it reflects, even though he was right, the weather can be damn hot, but because it is part of the tradition that was handed down, it is worn without any question, without any qualms, but it is actually the dress code. So we are actually carrying on the English legacy, the version of Christianity as the model on England during Queen Victoria's time.
We adapted, things evolved. It was great that it was we continue to grow, and we changed the way the art direction went. But also, because it happened in the middle of COVID, me and my family, we moved from Fiji to New Caledonia, where we are now. And when we got here, we got it in the middle of lockdown, so limited access to internet. Things were very difficult to carry on with all the artwork that was needed to be done. And our background artist Clarence, he stepped in, he stepped up, he helped with a lot of those of those character paintings. But also not just Clarence, it was just working with this team was awesome. Not just from the visual side of things with Clarence, Michael, and Melly, also from the audio side with Dave Knox. It's awesome to work with those guys. Just with the admin, and there was so much support from outside. Like NISA was always helping us, and the great thing was so many people helped us make this movie. And that was the awesome thing. It wasn't just by one big company coming and helping us out. This was funded by everyone, and that was the awesome thing. A lot of times we complain about these when people came and they colonized our country, and they took a lot of our knowledge. But no, we need to also take the knowledge that they left. Also go out and find that knowledge. To help ourselves. Build our people up. And that was the great thing about that he did, was that he didn't wait for some big company to tell his story. He managed to push it out, and then we were able to tell that story and be part of it. And also, hopefully, this inspires other people to tell their stories. And I'm looking forward to hearing your stories too. Yeah, look forward to seeing them. Manaka.